Morning. Now maybe I can see. Morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday morning to you. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Happy Wednesday morning to you. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. This is what I call my morning musings. We're looking at Jesus' prediction in the Olivet Discourse, in which in Matthew chapter 24, in verse 11 and following, Jesus said that many false prophets would arise and lead away and deceive many. There would be false apostles. There would be false messiahs. And those false prophets and those false miracle workers, notice verse 24. False Christ and false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Now, do you remember, pardon me, do you remember what Paul said in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, when he was talking about the man of sin? Paul said that lawlessness one will be revealed. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8, the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth, destroy with the brightness of his coming. The coming of this lawless one is according to the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Where did Paul get the idea of the coming Antichrist, who would perform false miracles and signs and wonders? He got it from Jesus. That's exactly what Jesus predicted. Oh, but wait. In Revelation chapter 13, John saw a sea beast, and then he saw a land beast. Revelation 13:11. I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, spoke like a dragon, and he exercises all of the authority of the first beast in his presence, causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs. What? He performs great signs. What did Paul say the man of sin would do? He would perform great signs and wonders. What did Jesus say the false prophets and false apostles and false messiahs would do? Perform great signs to lead away the elect. This man, or these men, if you please, he performs great signs so that he even makes fire to come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. He deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. Folks, we have perfect, absolute, chronological precision and agreement. Matthew 24, Jesus said those false apostles, those false messiahs would come in the first century. Paul, speaking of this man of sin, said the spirit of lawlessness is already at work. He said, by the way, that the restrainer, whoever or whatever that might have been, was already restraining. Well, guess what? You can't restrain what's not there, right? So the one that would do those false miracles, those false signs to deceive, was already present. And John said, here's the land beast, and he performs great signs and wonders. So we have Jesus, false apostles, false messiahs, false signs. We have Paul, false messiahs, man of sin, Antichrist, false signs, already at work. Oh, what did Jesus say? This generation will not pass until all of these things are fulfilled. And then here's John, who is told these things must shortly come to pass. The time is at hand, has drawn near. It's the time. It's the divinely appointed time, John was being told. The time was so near that as he was writing, the angel told him, Jesus probably told him, do not seal the vision of this book because the time is at hand. perfect harmony. Jesus, false apostles, false prophets, false messiahs, signs, this generation. Paul, false messiah, antichrist, already at work, being restrained. False miracles, false signs. John, false prophet, false messiah, if you please. False signs, these things must shortly come to pass. Once again, folks, we have absolute perfect harmony. Jesus is not talking about one period of time and Paul another and John another. Nor are John and Paul talking about a different time or events from what Jesus foretold. Now, since Paul said it was already at work, and since John was told it was so near he couldn't even seal the book, then that agrees perfectly with Jesus' statement, these things must shortly come to pass. And thus we have perfect proof that Matthew chapter 24, by the way, this proves Matthew 24 is not to be divided into two subjects. When Paul in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 was talking about the appearance of the false Messiah, the Antichrist, he was not talking about a yet future far off period of time. He was talking about the time in which he was living. It was all fulfilled in the first century. Hey, don't forget, take advantage of my great 3-book special. Good only until January 1st, okay? For the month of December 2019, regular price, if you purchase them separately, $61. Total delivered price for orders in the United States, $40 delivered. Oh, by the way, now, and by the way, again, DonKPreston.com, BibleProphecy.com. You don't want to forget it. Just go there. There's a banner up top of the page. Just click on it and order. Do not forget, beginning this Friday, pardon me, I'm going to begin reviewing, responding to, and refuting the brand new book by Lance Conley. Now, you will seldom find a more caustic, acerbic, profane, and often vulgar young man than Lance Conley. But he wrote a book that so many people, I say so many, some people are saying this is the definitive refutation of covenant eschatology. Sam Frost says this is over 400 pages of, quote, in your face. That's his terminology, unquote. Well, beginning Friday, we will begin an examination of Mr. Conley's attempt to respond to covenant eschatology. You are going to find that his book falls far, far short of accomplishing what he set out to do. Don't want to miss it. Okay. Thanks for joining me for this morning. I will see you on the flip side.